what it is. Everybody, it is April 8th. Bitcoin is rising. And I just ran into this report from Bloomberg, their latest crypto outlook, and I have to say it is very bullish on Bitcoin. So I wanted to make sure to go straight to the report, read it for you, and report back to you on what is inside of it and why Bloomberg says that the price of Bitcoin is probably going up from here. So people always ask me when I do my crypto consultations, they want to know, well, what do you think the price of Bitcoin is? What do you think it's going up to? And I say, why are you asking me? I don't know. But I know what other people are saying. And pretty much everybody's saying it's going higher by like double. So maybe you should get some. I don't know. This isn't financial advice. But some people say, if you don't have any, that you might want to get some. And I'm just going to go over this report to tell you what Bloomberg says. Because, like I said, my opinion, I don't know what it's worth. But Bloomberg, people pay for their services and everything, and they're supposed to be the big eggheads in the world that know what's going on in finance. So I'm going to go over the details of this report so you don't have to read it yourself. I am Nathan Stoltman. This is LTV Crypto. This is a cryptocurrency experience here live on the internet. I have a mission, which is to inform people about cryptocurrencies and hopefully help some people get some if they're having trouble. So we have a sponsor for this show still. Check out our sale. Truth Revolution Clothing. It's a hot store. We have some really nice stuff for sale. I'm wearing our "And the Fed" t-shirt today, and it is part of the sale. But sold out in some sizes. Check it out. truthclothing.io. That's our store. We have a really good sale going on. I don't know how much longer we can do it for because some of the stuff is sold out in certain sizes, but you can get your decentralized shirts, men's and women's. You can get your "And the Fed" shirt. You can get our Truth Matters, Lift the Veil shirts, all on sale right now if you go to truthclothing.io and then go to sale and then mega sale, and you're going to run into what is truly a mega sale over there at truthclothing.io, and we have free shipping on orders over $50. The shirts are designed, printed, and stocked and shipped right out of the United States of America. And some of them are made in the USA too, included in the sale. Anyway, check it out. All right, so this is the report. People love price targets for Bitcoin. So I'm excited to be able to bring you a price target today. I was excited to read the report almost from the very first paragraph. So let me give you their argument. This is the report here from Bloomberg, the Bloomberg Crypto Outlook, April 2021 edition, Rising Bitcoin Adoption Tide. And let's go over their arguments. I don't think you're going to find it as exciting as I did. But the first paragraph says Bitcoin adoption has become more sudden than gradual and is likely to accelerate as we see it, underpinning its price for the foreseeable future and magnifying the dollar's dominance as the reserve currency. Baseline support has risen toward $50,000 in Bitcoin, with $40,000 representing more extreme downside risk. Visa, Goldman Sachs, and Morgan Stanley have notably embraced the digitalization of money, buoying the process of Bitcoin replacing gold as the global digital reserve asset. And I just know a lot of hodlers out there, when they hear $40,000 extreme downside risk, they're like, holy cow. Someone in my Discord said their hands wouldn't even get shaky. $40,000 extreme downside risk, that sounds pretty good for something where normally you tell people if they're going to buy it that they might lose all their money. Bloomberg says extreme downside risk, 40 grand, that's only 1/3 off the price of where it is right now. That's something Bitcoiners can handle. So they have technical reasons that Bitcoin's going up. A technical reason for the resistance at 40K or above 40K right now is the 20-week moving average. They make the argument that people are buying Bitcoin instead of treasuries, basically because people are getting such low yields on treasuries, they're no good. So people are starting to replace those with Bitcoin. They make the argument that this $60,000 resistance that we're up against in Bitcoin, it reminds me of when we were just under $20,000 and there was some resistance and didn't make sense. The price should have been going up and there was all this opportunity to load up on Bitcoin under 20 grand. I don't know. Seems like this has been an opportunity here for the last little while to load up on Bitcoin under 60K, because you're going to think about just being able to, you like being able to brag to people about the dollar cost average of your Bitcoin holdings. So in the future, you would be able to say, people will say, oh, where do you get in at Bitcoin? You say, I got it under 60K. They'll be like, holy shit, it's really worth it. So just to let you know, that's how it works. You gotta, you want to be in, because you don't want to look back and think, oh, they said the price was going to go up. Everybody said the price was going to double, but I didn't listen to them. I just figured, I'll wait till it gets to 100K before I buy some. No, you can get it. You can get it right now. That's what they say, at least. They say the Ethereum at 2,000, Bitcoin at 60,000. You got a little resistance there, but looking good to break through, go to 80,000 in Q2. And all you can say is, in quarter one, Bitcoin was up 100%. And speaking of price targets, I can't give financial advice, but if Bitcoin did the same thing every quarter this year, if it doubled every quarter, then you'd get up to $480,000. And now I'll get to their argument for Bitcoin getting to $400,000 in 2021. They see 2021 as being similar to 2013 and 2017. In 2013, Bitcoin went up 55x. 2017, 15x. They say if Bitcoin reaches the kind of extremes it reached during those years, that you're looking at $400,000 Bitcoin. And so that's over 6x from where we are right now. And, it's already come a little ways. So they look at it, their comparisons are because this year follows the halving, and also because of historically low volatility that preceded this last rally. The next argument is that Tesla buying Bitcoin, and this is an important argument, because because chances are the stock market's going to go down at some point. The rising yields and everything are probably going to pop the stock market bubble at some point. And last time stocks went down, Bitcoin went down a lot last March. So people want to know what happens the next time stocks sell off. And what do I know? I hope Bitcoin still goes up. I look at Bitcoin like gold, and this report goes on to say more about that. But they say that Tesla buying Bitcoin is a sign that Bitcoin is becoming a risk-off asset rather than a risk-on asset, which would be good during a market downturn, because when people are looking to get risk out of their portfolio and get out of stocks and bonds, they might be actually buying Bitcoin at the same time. So you could have a situation, the argument here at least from Bloomberg, so you could have a situation where stocks are selling off, but Bitcoin is actually appreciating, and that's the argument that Bloomberg makes, is that, since Tesla bought Bitcoin, Tesla has gone down and Bitcoin has gone up. So it's an interesting argument, at least. Then, which calling gold, I almost called it gold, Bitcoin a risk-off asset. Next, they say that Bitcoin is replacing gold. I mean, this is the big argument that I've been making, but it's good to see them making the same argument, and a lot of people are comparing Bitcoin to gold, and Bitcoin is superior to gold, empirically, if you just take as money, and even better so as a store of value. But if you take the things that make money, fungibility, durability, desirability, divisibility, portability, Bitcoin does almost everything better, and some things it does so much better that it's like a totally new scale of better. If you think about storage for a store of value, if you just think about storage, how easy is it to buy and store $5,000 worth of gold versus $5,000 of Bitcoin, and then $100,000 worth of gold versus $100,000 of Bitcoin. And then as the number gets higher, it becomes more and more attractive to buy and hold Bitcoin, which costs nothing, which you can actually earn interest on. And this analysis touches on that too. But why would you have gold? You have to pay for storage, you have to trust somebody else to store it for you, or you have to keep it in your house, you have to have security, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Or you can buy, literally thousands of dollars by downloading an app, and then you just store it right there. Nobody can take it from you. Unless they hold a gun to your head and you decide to give it to them, of course. But that's the argument, I have for Bitcoin replacing gold as a reserve asset. It's more portable. What did I say? Storage, portability, taking it across borders, divisibility, fungibility, durability. We don't know, I guess, because the internet could go down, but you could argue it's more durable. Who knows? So those are some of the reasons that I think Bitcoin's taking gold. This makes the argument for Bitcoin taking gold's place. If you take the argument that Bitcoin is going to replace gold as a store of value, well, gold is a $10 trillion market and Bitcoin is a $1 trillion market. So that is a 10x gain right there. That's the argument the Winklevoss twins make, which is the argument I would make too. Bitcoin is digital gold. And so they have lots of reasons, different technical reasons. The next reason, which I've also talked about, it's good to see somebody else talking about it, for the reason for the appreciation of Bitcoin is that there are going to be more publicly traded ways to buy Bitcoin, namely that there is going to be a US ETF, and just, I have a feeling you want to be holding Bitcoin when they announce that first US ETF. That predicts Bloomberg, will bring a bunch of money into Bitcoin. And I know this from talking to people in the consulting I do and talking to people on my show, that retirement money wants to buy Bitcoin and isn't necessarily in GBTC and hasn't necessarily looked at all the ways they can get into a Bitcoin IRA right now. They are waiting for some real easy way to buy Bitcoin, which will be a US ETF. And we have big people applying for US ETFs, including Goldman Sachs and Fidelity. So it's, almost a foregone conclusion that we're going to get one, maybe pretty soon. And if there's some reason for Bitcoin to head up to 100K from where it is now, that could definitely be it. So that's an argument that Bloomberg makes, which I certainly agree with. Also, Bloomberg points out what a lot of crypto geeks point out too, which is Bitcoin is leaving exchanges and going into hard storage or going into people earning interest, which is what I do with most of my Bitcoin. You talk about better than gold. What situation are you in where you can put your gold somewhere and come back later and there's more gold? I mean, imagine that. Then I might have some gold. If I could put gold in my safe and come back later and there be more gold, that would be something else. I would really be into gold. Or my silver, if it would multiply on its own there. Come back, find more silver. Well, that's what it's like, earning interest on cryptocurrency. Yes, there's more risk involved, but people are doing it, and people with a lot more money than me. So that's a possibility too. Remember that. And as far as decreased volatility in the future, that earning interest thing is such a big deal that once it's widely embraced, talk about giving people reason to hodl during the downturn, is if you can earn interest on it, then you're not so motivated to sell right away. You can just sit through the downturns better. So I'm hoping, I have my fingers crossed, because I don't like to sell Bitcoin. I'm hoping that after it hits the next peak, whether that's 400K or 500K, that it doesn't necessarily have to go down 90% or 50% or whatever it is every single time, because there are more reasons than ever to buy and hold Bitcoin, especially if you feel like earning interest is something you want to do with it. So they point out Bitcoin leaving exchanges, and that it's been the percentage of Bitcoin that is held on exchanges has been going down since it peaked last March. And then finally, this is an interesting part of the argument, which I kind of skipped over from that first paragraph, is that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is actually going to confirm the dominance of the US dollar, and that even though China is coming out with a crypto yuan, the dollar already dominates digital currencies. Even though our Fed isn't in a hurry to come out with a digital dollar, there are already digital dollars. There are already several digital dollars. There is Tether, which is huge and growing. And it is the number one exchange cryptocurrency on earth. Tether is, not Bitcoin. And Tether, of course, is based on US dollars. So the point Bloomberg is making is that, everybody's using dollars to buy Bitcoin. And that the idea of everybody using dollars, cements the dominance of the dollar as a global currency. I don't know if I can argue with that. I mean, I talk here about the collapse of the dollar, and it certainly is collapsing versus Bitcoin, but the future is in digital currencies. It could be, why not? The Fed doesn't even have to come out with a digital dollar because there are already digital dollars. What do we need a new one for? And speaking of digital dollars, if people knew you can earn interest 8 to 12% on your digital dollars, people are going to start doing that too. But Bloomberg is bullish about the dollar because of digital dollars, also because of the investigation into Tether, which a lot of people see as a potential downside to the Bitcoin bull run, is that Tether could blow up because of the investigations into it. Bloomberg says the investigations into Tether are actually a good thing, and that the market has been up ever since the investigation started. And that the more transparency, I guess, there is around these digital dollars, the better. And I guess they think Tether is going to come through, which I don't know. So far it has. So that's your report from Bloomberg. I read it for you so you wouldn't have to. Ooh, it's lucky I don't give financial advice, because if I did, I would tell you to sell your house and buy Bitcoin. I would be like Michael Saylor and say, what, 100% Bitcoin? Why not 200%? Everything. But people say this is one price target, 400K. Who else? JP Morgan says 130K. Raoul Paul says 250K this year. Max Kaiser says 220K this year. Citibank says 200 or 300K. So if everybody's saying that, I would think it's time to have some Bitcoin. And we are in alt season. So this is a good reminder of who brought you to the dance, or who brought everybody to this party, and it's Bitcoin. So when I read stuff like this, I know it's alt season. I know it's like full-blown alt season right now. People are making fortunes in these other coins, but don't forget about Bitcoin. Don't forget about Bitcoin. If people ask my advice, I'd say definitely have some Bitcoin, and maybe mostly, even if you miss out on some gains. It's good to have Bitcoin. It feels good. And like I said, if you're interested in doing it, you can earn interest on it too, which makes it feel even better. It's actually kind of crazy. It actually feels like you don't know if it's totally legal. So if you need help with cryptocurrency, it's not that hard to buy it. I don't know what I'm talking about, but people say if you don't have exposure, you should get some. You can use my links in the description. It's real easy using the Cash App or Coinbase or Gemini or a bunch of other places to buy Bitcoin, but use my links if you do, because you get a bonus, or use somebody's link because you get a bonus for doing it. And if you need help, use my services. I am a Bitcoin missionary. I help people with cryptocurrency and whatever you need to do. I have some experience with most things. So set it up with me if you want. BitcoinMissionary.com. I do like a free 30-minute consultation, or you can send a donation. But I really do like helping people out. I do feel like I'm on a kind of personal mission to do that. I want to spread the cryptocurrency love, and then think about it. Everybody, we could all get rich, genuinely, in a cryptocurrency way. So you can catch the news part of this show on DLive at dlive.tv/lifttheveil, and the bonus material from this show by following me on DLive, dlive.tv/lifttheveil, and becoming a subscriber to my website, lifttheveil411.com. That's for bonus extra content that you can't talk about on YouTube, because there are still things that you really can't talk about here publicly. So thanks everybody who's following this channel. Please do follow, subscribe, leave comments, and tell everybody about LTV Crypto. Appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. I'll drop back over to DLive for a minute, and I will see you at the next one. For today, that is what it is.